Everyone is hyping up the B18, the K20, the legendary VTEC. And yeah, those are excellent engines, but some of the most reliable, most bang for your buck Honda engines are ones most people ignore. We're talking engines you can pick up for a few $100, drop into a Civic, and run for another 200,000 kilometers easily. Today we're covering 3 of them, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be hunting for one yourself. Engine 1, D15B7. Let's kick things off with the one Honda engine that gets absolutely no respect, the D15B7. Now I know what you're thinking, a 1.5 liter non-VTEC, that's literally a base model daily commute engine. And yeah, you're not wrong. Honda stuck this thing into the most budget spec Civics they made in the mid-90s. Base trim, no frills, no VTEC, no hype. And that's exactly why people sleep on it. They hear non-VTEC and they tune out completely. They move on to the B series listings and spend triple the money without even giving this engine a second look. But here's what I want you to think about for a second. What if the fact that it has no VTEC is actually the whole point? See, VTEC is a great system, but it's also more moving parts, more sensors, more actuators, more stuff that can go wrong over time. The D15B7 has none of that. It's a simple SOHC 16-valve 4-cylinder, 1,493 cubic centimeters of nothing complicated. And that simplicity is what makes it live forever. We're talking aluminum block, aluminum head, a low 9.2-to-1 compression ratio that doesn't care if you feed it slightly lower grade fuel, and a port fuel injection system so straightforward that most mechanics can diagnose it half asleep. The thing makes around 102 horsepower stock, which is not setting any drag strips on fire, but it's also not trying to. This engine's job is to keep running, and it does. Owners regularly report crossing 200,000 kilometers on these with nothing more than oil changes, the occasional coolant flush, and a timing belt swap. That's it. That's the whole maintenance story. So what happens when people actually start building with one of these? When they stop treating it like a throwaway engine and actually pay attention to what it can do? Here's where it gets interesting. Because the D15B7 shares the same basic Honda D-Series architecture as the more popular D16 variants, you've got huge parts compatibility. Swaps are cheap, aftermarket support is real, and in enthusiast circles, this engine is quietly becoming a go-to base for light turbo builds. Think about it. You've got a simple, lightweight, low compression engine with a strong bottom end. Throw a small turbo at it, keep the boost reasonable, tune the ECU, and you've got yourself a reliable, budget turbocharged Honda that didn't cost you a kidney to build. The D15B7 isn't glamorous. It's not going to win you any Instagram clout. But if your goal is to build something that actually lasts, that doesn't nickel and dime you every other month, that runs clean and keeps its oil where oil belongs, this engine is one of the smartest picks in the D-Series lineup. There are some common things to keep an eye on with a used one. Valve cover gasket leaks are pretty typical just from age, cam seals dry out over time, and the distributor O-ring can weep on high mileage units. None of these are major. They're all cheap fixes that anyone with basic tools can handle in an afternoon. So if you want the cheapest, most forgiving Honda engine to start a project with, this is it. Zero drama, maximum longevity, absolute goldmine. Before we get into the next two, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We drop content like this regularly, and you do not want to miss what's coming. All right, let's keep going. If the D15B7 is the cheap, no-frills foundation, then the D16Y8 and its sibling, the D16Y6, are the budget builder's sweet spot. A little more displacement, a little more power, and just enough VTEC to remind you you're driving a Honda. Engine 2, D16Y8 and D16Y6. These engines powered a whole generation of late 90s to early 2000s Civics. EX trims, HX trims, base models in certain markets. They're everywhere. Wrecking yards are full of them. Online listings are full of them. And most people either overlook them entirely because they're not the B series, or they pick them up and never realize what they actually have. So let's break this down. The D16Y8 is a 1.6-liter SOHC engine with Honda's VTEC system built in. It makes around 127 horsepower at the crank in stock form. The D16Y6 is the HX variant, which uses a leaner VTEC system optimized more for economy, but still runs the same basic architecture. Both share nearly all their parts. Both are stupid cheap to find and fix. But here's the thing most people don't know about the D16Y8. There's a very specific reason why budget Honda builders have been quietly using this engine as a performance foundation for years. And it has nothing to do with the stock power number. The D16Y8 head, that's the secret. The head on this engine flows better than most people expect from a single cam budget motor. And when you start looking at what a mild cam upgrade, a header, a decent intake, and an ECU tune will do to this thing, you start to realize you can push it to around 140 to 150 horsepower naturally aspirated without touching the bottom end at all. That's real-world, daily drivable power. Enough to make a lightweight Civic hatch genuinely fun to throw around. Now, if you want to take it further, the D16Y8 also responds well to a light turbo setup. Enthusiasts have been getting 180 to 200 wheel horsepower out of stock internals on these for years. Is it at the limit at that point? Yeah, but the point is, the engine is capable of it, and the parts to get there cost far less than building a K20. So why do people overlook it? If it's this capable, why isn't everyone talking about it? Because it's not a B series. That's honestly the whole answer. The Honda community put the B16 and B18 on a pedestal so high that anything with a D prefix gets dismissed as econobox trash. And that narrative has stuck around for 20 plus years, even though the D16Y8 is genuinely one of the best value engines Honda ever made. Parts availability is off the charts. Because these engines were in so many Civics for so many years, everything from bearings to gaskets to full rebuild kits is cheap and easy to find. A timing belt job on one of these costs you next to nothing. Valve adjustments are straightforward. The VTEC solenoid is one of the most common things to service, and it's a quick fix. If you're building a budget Civic project, if you're doing your first engine swap, if you want VTEC character without paying VTEC premium money, the D16Y8 is probably the most overlooked smart choice in the whole Honda D-Series lineup. And one more thing worth saying. For anyone doing a swap into a base trim Civic that came with a D15, the D16Y8 drops right in with minimal headache. Alright, the third engine on this list is one that almost nobody talks about in the enthusiast world. And I think that's actually a little funny, because it might be the most impressive of the three in terms of pure real-world reliability. Engine 3, L15A. The L15A 1.5 liters, Honda's L-Series architecture. You've seen this engine in the Jazz, the Fit, the City, and a whole string of budget hatchbacks and compact models across Asia, Europe, and other markets. On paper, it looks like nothing special. A small four-cylinder built for economy cars. What's exciting about that? See, the L15A comes in two main forms. The IDSI variant, which uses Honda's intelligent dual and sequential ignition system for maximum fuel efficiency, and the VTEC and iVTEC variants, which bring that Honda cam switching character to a more modern, efficient platform. The question is, which one should you actually care about? And more importantly, why does either of them deserve a spot on this list at all? Because the L15A is one of the most thermally efficient, lightweight, and low-stress Honda engines ever put into a production car. All aluminum construction keeps it light. The fuel injection system is mature and proven, and the long-term reliability numbers on these are genuinely remarkable. Jazz and Fit owners around the world are racking up 300,000 plus kilometers on these engines with nothing more than regular oil changes and coolant flushes. That's not an accident. That's Honda engineering a small engine to run at a comfortable, low-stress operating point for its entire life. The engine is never being pushed hard. It runs cool, it runs clean, and it just keeps going. Now, from a numbers standpoint, stock power on the IDSI L15A sits around 78 to 90 horsepower, depending on the market and tune. The VTEC variants push it closer to 106 to 110. Not exciting on paper, but this engine was never designed to be exciting. It was designed to be nearly indestructible. So here's where I keep coming back to. If this engine is so reliable, so cheap to maintain, and so widely available, why does nobody talk about it? Why does it not even appear in most best Honda engine conversations? Honestly, because it's too boring to hype. It doesn't have a legendary motorsport story attached to it. It's the engine that powers a regular person's car. And that's a shame, because boring and dependable is worth a lot when you're paying for repairs. Used L15A engines are often available at very low prices, precisely because nobody is competing hard to buy them. You're not bidding against performance guys on an L15A. You're picking up something that runs perfectly for almost nothing. And then you drop it in, and it just works. Potential issues on a used unit are pretty standard stuff. Some IDSI variants develop valve train noise that's usually resolved with a simple valve adjustment. Cooling system components like hoses and the thermostat can wear on older units, same as any compact engine. High mileage examples might have worn accessory mounts or an aging alternator. Standard wear and tear, nothing chronic, nothing expensive. On the tuning side, the IDSI L15A isn't the one to chase for big power, but the VTEC and iVTEC variants respond decently to a cam upgrade, intake work, exhaust, and an ECU retune. Enthusiasts have pushed these to around 140 to 160 horsepower while staying within a comfortable reliability margin. Again, not drag strip numbers, but real and usable in a small hatchback. The L15A is the engine for anyone who genuinely does not want drama. Fleet operators love it. Anyone replacing a worn engine in a Jazz or Fit and just wanting the car to keep going loves it. It's the invisible workhorse of the Honda lineup, and it deserves a lot more credit than it gets. Comparing all three. So let's step back for a second and look at where each of these three actually fits. The D15B7 is your absolute floor. Cheapest to buy, simplest to maintain, easiest to work on. No VTEC, no complexity, just a rock-solid Honda bottom end that runs forever. Best for tight budgets, first builds, light turbo projects, and anyone who wants the most forgiving Honda engine possible. The D16Y8 is the value performance sweet spot. A little more money, a little more power, real VTEC character, and actual headroom for mild performance builds without needing to spend K-Series money. Best for budget Civic upgrades, casual tuners, and anyone doing a swap from a base D15 setup. And the L15A is the practical choice. Economy, longevity, low stress, and stupid cheap availability. Best for Jazz and Fit owners, high mileage commuters, fleet replacements, and anyone who needs a Honda engine to just run and not think about it. 3 different use cases, 3 different price points, all 3 doing exactly what most real-world owners actually need from an engine. Maintenance tips to keep them alive. Before we wrap up, here are the basics that apply to all 3 of these engines and will keep them running as long as possible. Use quality 5W30 or 10W30 semi-synthetic on D-Series engines and change it every 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers. For the L15A, Honda recommends 5W20 or 5W30 full synthetic, and sticking to that recommendation genuinely improves longevity and economy. Flush the coolant every 40,000 to 60,000 kilometers. On older Civics and Jazz-based cars, check the radiator hoses and clamps regularly. Cooling system failures are one of the top killers of otherwise healthy engines, and it's completely avoidable. The D15B7 and D16Y8 are both non-interference engines, which means a snapped belt is annoying but not catastrophic. That said, replace the timing belt around 80,000 to 100,000 kilometers anyway. For L15A variants on a belt-driven system, same rule applies. Don't skip this service. On older OBD1D series units, an injector clean or replacement around the 150,000 kilometer mark can bring back smoothness you didn't even know you were missing. On VTEC and iVTEC variants, clean quality fuel keeps the cam switching hardware and combustion chambers happy long term. Here's what I keep coming back to with all three of these engines. The Honda world loves to celebrate the expensive, the exotic, the high-revving screamer. And those engines are genuinely impressive. But the D15B7, the D16Y8, and the L15A are impressive in a completely different way. They're engines that were built to be cheap, reliable, and unfussy. And they deliver on that promise so consistently for so long that people completely forget to give them credit for it. They just keep running. While flashier engines get rebuilt and sold on and rebuilt again, these motors are quietly rolling past 300,000 miles in economy hatchbacks nobody talks about. And if you know what to look for, you can pick one up for almost nothing, drop it into a project, and have one of the most reliable engines Honda ever made sitting under your hood. So have you ever actually looked at what these engines can do? Or have you been skipping right past them because the internet told you they weren't worth your time? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to know how many of you have actually built a D series or an L15A. And if this video opened your eyes even a little bit to what these engines are actually capable of, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.